operation commander ge le sa batho ba ge le ba swara rena tax money ya rena it tlo support batho ba again in prison. Or the same illegal immigrants ge lena le fetša ba swara le batliša mo rena re ba fepe aba fetša ba fiwa le di-bursary mo tronkong taxpayers money ke eng e le gore lena ba molao la e dira molao o bereka ga o iragalang because na go bone and e ka re lena ka bolena a le bušitše molao but le ba molao. Why will people operate illegal businesses under your watch? Why will people ba foreigner a le gore a tshwanela go ba in this country but le ba tlogele roaming the streets re ba itše tronko gore ra ba fepa? Why is that happening under your watch? a ke le botša maaka mo South Africa re disappointa ke government ya rena re disappointa ke lena ba molao re disappointa le ke basadi ba robalang le ma-foreigner ba irela bana because those are our biggest problem in this country. And we are saying this out of our frustrations. And rena a re eme mo le gore le emetse but re ka se go rapalla go bolela ra le botša seo le se dutlang se phoso because re tlo swariwa. And nako e tlo fihla ke gopola le record se ke se bolelang nako e tlo fihla community e tlo le leader le le tlo hloka mohola setšhabeng goba le bapala ka le gopela mebereko le bapala ka batho le ka se gopele mobereko re le tlo protecta setšhaba le bapala ka sone batho ba rena ba tlhokafala bana ba rena ba tsebiša di-drugs batho ba rena ba tseba di-drugs under your watch e tlogela government e interfere in the police system e a le laola.
This issue of illegal foreigners in South Africa is no longer a child's play. Like, I can feel the pains in her voice. I can actually feel the pains in her voice. Victoria Africa is one lady that do not joke with undocumented foreigners living in South Africa. Like, she don't joke with them. She detests so much seeing undocumented foreigners in South Africa. As of last year, she did her best. Like, she did everything within her power to see that she retrieved the spaza shops from these undocumented foreigners, and she gave back the shops to South African people, right? Because as we all know that South Africa has always been saying that foreigners have taken over their job, that they took over their job. At first, both South Africans and foreigners normally do this spaza shop business, right? They were doing it together, but it got to a point that the foreigners, I mean these Somalians and Ethiopians, right? They are the ones that are known for the spaza shop business in South Africa. They began to purchase from another place. They now deviated from the place that they were actually buying from, and that was also the same place that South Africans were also buying their goods, right? Now these foreigners began to buy from somewhere else. There is this warehouse that South African police busted last year. That warehouse is a very mighty warehouse, but the only thing filled in that warehouse were expired products, and these expired products were imported from outside South Africa. I don't know if you guys are getting it. So they now distribute it to spaza shops at a lower prices. Are you getting it? At an affordable prices, thereby making it so hard, so difficult for South Africans to make sales. Now, when you go to South African shop, like a spaza shop owned by South Africa, you discover that probably a tin of milk in their shop is sold for let me say 5 francs. For instance, let me say 5 francs. But if you now go to a spaza shop owned by a foreigner, you will see that the foreigner is selling his own for 3 rands. Are you getting it? So people now prefer to buy from foreign owned spaza shops. Are you getting it? And by the time you realize what is going on, most of the spaza shops owned by South Africans began to go down and it collapsed. So later on, South African people began to fall sick. Yes, they began to fall sick because it's as if that almost all the things that they were eating were expired products, even the ones that have expired like 5 years back before they consume it. Now they began to fall sick and their children began to die each time they eat snacks that they purchase from spaza shops. You know, normally when you give a child money, the child will quickly run to spaza shops, like to any nearby shop, to buy biscuits, snacks, and you get it. But each time the children takes those snacks or biscuits, they get unalive immediately. They fall down and die. And you get, even in schools, when children celebrate birthday, or if someone celebrates birthday in the class and they share snacks. You know, normally the parents will go to spaza shops and buy snacks and give to the child, that he or she should give it to the teacher. Maybe during the time that the class will celebrate her, then the teacher will share the snacks to the kids, right, to the classmates. But each time the children consumes the snacks, all of them, I mean all, the only person that will even survive or the only person that will not be affected will either be the teacher, simply because the teacher did not test shop. So this was actually what South Africans faced, that now made this Victoria Africa to say enough is enough. That enough is enough. That when the people were handling this spaza shop business, that things like this were not happening. Are you getting it? So she began to shut down the spaza shops, all those spaza shops that were being managed by foreigners, undocumented foreigners, Ethiopians, Somalians. She began to close down the shops. Even the landlords, landladies, they were not like saying they don't want anymore, that those Ethiopians and the Somalians, that they should stop using their shops, that they should pack out and all that. So Victoria Africa, she really fought for her people. She actually fought. Now that's last year. I can remember. I still remember that the South African police, I guess within that, between October to December 2024, right? The South African police discovered three warehouses, three mighty warehouses, and all those warehouses were filled with, when I mean expired, spoiled products. So those warehouses were actually the places where the illegal foreigners that own spaza shop, those places were actually where they bring those things from. Some of them, they will even change the expired date, and you will never know that what you are about to eat has been expired for like 6 to 7 years back.